All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to go over this video, so let's just get into it real quick.
A Baltimore City Council bill is looking to raise the minimum wage for tipped workers. And while some council members believe it's a benefit to servers, restaurant owners we spoke with feel it could be devastating for business. Fox 25's Maxine Stryker is taking a closer look.
The Fair Wages for Tipped Employees bill.
I believe that all work has dignity and pay should be reflective of that. Our service workers are some of the hardest workers in our communities, and they deserve stable and predictable wages. So what we are pushing for is this one fair wage across the board.
Introduced Monday by Councilman John Bullock, would raise the minimum wage gradually over the next 5 years for tipped workers in Baltimore City. The current statewide level is $3.63. By July 2025, it would become $6 and increase $2 each year until 2029.
I do want to reiterate that this bill in no way takes away from the ability of workers to earn tips. It does.
So I'm going to speak to those out there that kind of understand how tips kind of work. People pay tips, or people give tips to employees usually because they know they're making a certain amount of money. And tips employees are usually very good. Like, they usually like the tips. They make more money than if they were getting paid hourly. So if you are now replacing that tip with hourly, and you say, oh, you're not replacing, you still get it. No, people are not going to. It's been proven. If they know you're already getting paid hourly wage, they're not, or they're more likely to give you very little tip or no tip at all. So let's continue.
However, raise the floor for potential wages.
Under current Maryland law, tipped workers' total pay, including tips, must be more than $15 an hour. But employers are required.
So again, let's just bring this down. If you was a bad server that people didn't want to tip you, and you worked in a place, or a combination of all, that you worked in a slow place that just not enough traffic, and you were a bad server and you were just not making enough tips, right? So it's the only ways you could not make enough money on tips is if you are in a really, really bad location, you're not getting enough. But even if that happened, the restaurant would still have to bring you up to $15 an hour. You're still getting that $15 an hour. So why is it that every politician always says that these workers are making $3 and something a change? They're not. They're just not. And we know that they're not, but the politicians just say they are. So I guess people assume that they are because the politicians say that. And I'm not trying to take the sides of anybody. I'm just saying the facts. That's the facts. That's all it is.
To make up the difference with a tip credit if they come up short. Under this bill, that tip credit would be phased out, leaving restaurant owners like Gia Blatterman possibly paying more.
I think this is a lose-lose.
The Restaurant Association of Maryland is also opposed to the effort, saying eliminating the tip credit will lead to increased menu prices and service charges being added to customer checks. Adding research shows that customers will not tip on top of service charges, especially when...
I just said that, right? And I just noticed something. I just peeped something out before. Let's see if I can get back to this real quick, because I'm going to tell you this. Oh, I guess I had to go back a little further. Right here. This is more statistics just to kind of prove what I've been saying. Under the current tipping system, the average server earns $27 an hour, right? That's because they're getting tips. If you take away the ability of servers to get their regular tips, they're going to be in the teens. So you're getting $12 an hour. So whatever extra tips they get, if they get tips, is going to bring it up to in the teens. So they're right now getting on average 27 hours. Many servers and bartenders report earning as much as $50 an hour. I mean, I wish I was making $15 an hour, right? I don't know how much I'm making. I don't know, but I wish I would be able to make $50 an hour to serve, be a server. But actually that's what's going on. They're making this money, and the politicians are saying that they're making $3 and change an hour. Again, there is nobody that's making $3-something an hour, even though they always say that. I mean, this guy didn't say it, but that's what they all say, all the people that are advocating for this, that nobody should be making $3-something an hour. They literally say that, which is just blows my mind. But This is just a little bit more facts. Let me try to see if I can fast forward it back a little bit.
Checks, adding research shows that customers will not tip on top of service charges, especially when employees are being paid a minimum wage hourly rate by the employer. According to the bill, if a restaurant chooses to put in place a service fee, they must disclose on the menu the amount and purpose and who the money goes to.
And the thing is that the prices on the menu are going to go up. There's no way around it. There's just no way. Servers in a restaurant are one of the largest groups of employees you have. So if you are getting their pay supplemented by the customer instead of you directly paying, because honestly, it's the same thing. You got to pay the server or you pay the server directly. If you don't pay the server directly, we got to get it from you anyway. And then you still paying the server directly. It's just idiotic in a sense, because now you're just going to be paying a lot more, and you're going to be paying the person basically their tip without you really realizing it, and you have now no power on if the service is good or not. It's you're paying it automatically. You're paying it because the menu is going to be raised prices to be able to afford to pay this. You're talking about 200% increase from $3.60 something going all the way to $12. That's like 200%. I don't even, whatever. I'm not doing the math right now in my head. I'm just averaging it out, whatever. I know it's more than double, so it's more than 100, so it's whatever, 200, it's a lot. So you add that to payroll, it's like it's got to come out of somewhere. And again, servers are a large group of the employees that you have at a restaurant. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of increased cost for payroll, just off the bat.
General public will know that now you're paying them 15, so I'm going to leave them 5%, no percent. Yep. And then that means you're going to throw away the best servers. The service will be scant, and then they will be gone.
Blatterman says her servers are already making more than $15 an hour and are opposed to the change.
I don't think enough thought has gone into this.
I'm going to give you a little inside information. I work with servers, and some of the servers that make really good money, I'm talking about, they're probably the ones that are making 20, 30, in the high 20s or 30s or even 40s and 50s, right? They truly care about their job. And you can honestly sometimes notice the people that are not probably getting the best tips because they're just either just starting up and they're just not on point. But the servers that have been doing this for a while, they know what like service is. They'll get upset as a cook. They'll make sure the food is coming out right for you. They'll go above and beyond for their table. And it's just to make sure that not only their table's happy, it's also, honestly, they want to make sure that their tip is secure. That's not going to matter if they're already getting paid and they know that they're not really getting more tips anymore. Like the tips are going to be so minuscule that it's not really going to, the incentive is going to be lost. I'm just saying, and we probably end up losing some of those servers that are there, like really intense and know what they're doing, and the service is on point. It's gonna be interesting. Again, this is only in Maryland, so we'll see what happens.
It affects everybody.
In the Golden State, a popular chain announced the closure of around 50 restaurants after a $20 minimum wage hike for fast food workers. And some restaurants were forced to fire workers just to get by.
So that's California, which I mentioned that, the $20 increase in California for fast food workers in, these fast food chains. And there was like some rules that you have to have a certain amount and whatever. I think it's like 100 franchises or whatever, a certain amount. But I always think it's funny that all these states are targeting this industry to pay more. Like, why? Why this industry it gets targeted to pay more, especially the people that are getting paid? If anything, like, usually the kitchen that doesn't get paid enough, the front of the house gets paid usually very well. The people that know what they're doing, they get well. Again, it's one of those things that the people that put in the work and they learn their craft, they get paid very well. This right here is not going to help them. It's only going to help the people that are starting out, and it's going to basically, you're going to have people that are starting out at that level, and eventually that's what's going to plateau. It's going to be that level because the prices for food are just going to keep on going up. They just went up again. Now they're going to go up again. You put this bill, they're going to go up again. So it's very interesting how they specifically targeting this industry. And please, guys, leave some links about other industries that are getting targeted, because I can't see that it's only this industry that's happening. Of course, I'm in the industry, and YouTube is probably giving me algorithm of stuff in the industry. So I would love to hear about other industries that are being targeted like this. So let me know below if you know of other industries that are getting targeted similar to like the restaurant industry right now.
Consumer pays. Consumer must pay, because the restaurants cannot afford this. And so ultimately, you're punishing the people that you want to bring into the city. Right now, they're not coming in by the masses, I can assure you.
In Baltimore, Maxine Stryker, Fox 45 News.
All right, so you guys know this is not a political channel or anything, but it seems like these politicians seem to come up with these rules lately in the last couple of years that targeted the business. And I'm pretty sure most of the people that are not voting for these rules are not even in the business. So a lot of the people that are talking about pay more and give more to these employees in this business are not in the business. They haven't worked in the business, and they just don't understand the way the business works. The small margins of profit in this business, it's just, look, I'm all about making more money. It's not about, I don't want people to make more money, but this is definitely not a way for servers to make more money. This is actually a way for them to make less money. So if you're actually trying to help them, this doesn't make any damn sense. So I'm all for it. Come up with policies that help people making money, or just don't come up with policies at all, and just people don't work if they don't want to get paid a certain amount or don't want to work in the industry. But going to the industry directly and forcing them to pay more, it never works out well. Never force anything. Every time stuff is forced, especially by politicians and the government, it usually ends up not doing so well. It might look good in the beginning, it might start off well, but it always ends up bad. Not always, maybe. There might be a few times that it didn't, but it usually does. Look, leave your comments below. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a whole lot in this whole story. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know. I don't follow politics like that, so this is not a political, but I love hearing about stuff about the industry that affects the industry, and yeah, I'm all for it, man. Leave your comments below. Let me know. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace.